Piggies are all here. They're doing fine. They're just hanging out. Kind of show a little changes we did to the pig area. So I'm standing out here in what was their pen. You can kind of make out, well, you can definitely see where the fence posts were, but you can see the line of where there's vegetation and there's no vegetation. That pool is going to get flipped over to make them a little bathing area or a bog area. But you can see that they had this area. What we did over the weekend, good morning piggies, here they are. So I just got back from my morning run, so they're up and excited, thinking that I'm bringing them snacks. They are sadly disappointed right now. That's some old mash food. We've moved them to their feeder. I don't know if you can make it out in there, but there's a feeder in there. You can see the chickens are very interested in what I've got going on over here. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Basically, our plan for this year with the pigs was to move them into this run-in shed and then give them a larger swath of area back here to work in. So as you can see, we've moved the electric fence to an endpoint on the wall of the shed. Got the Energizer right there. This thing gives a really good shock. It's not what you want to touch, that's for sure. But goes here and goes down into the woods, all the way down there to the corner, and then all the way up. So what we're gonna do is walk around that for a second here, kind of show you what area they have to work now. You can see it's interesting with pigs. They really do learn their boundaries. They respect this wire very, very much. And we moved this fence yesterday in the morning. So it's been almost a full day and they still haven't really passed the original boundary. It'll take them a little while before they realize that they can actually pass that boundary and not get shocked. Then they'll realize where this line is and they'll stay behind it. You can see the old fences here. I've got to take this apart and put it away. That was the smaller area that they learned how to use the electric fence with. But yeah, so we weed whacked this area, cleared it out pretty good. And what I'll do is every day or two, I'll just walk the line here and pull out any plants that touch it. Like you can see right there, a piece of grass is touching that. Yeah, so if grass is touching that, it'll ground out. The camera turned off because I went to go grab that grass and I actually shocked myself. That good stuff, that hurts, guys, just so you know. But anyway, so we continued to walk along here, weed whack, clean out the woods. You can notice that there are some natural obstacles in the way. So they got like a boulder here and another one over here. So we kind of have to go between those things. The nice thing is that, you know, the wire is pretty flexible in where you want to put it, right? As long as you can put these posts in, you can string the wire between them and you should be good. Things we do have to watch out though is like pieces of wood on the ground like this old log that's disintegrating. The pigs at some point will get in here and root around and push that up. And if they do that, it could ground out the wire. So we have to be careful of that. So yeah, we can just keep on walking here. And you can see that their space is much, much larger now. There's a lot of ferns in here. They'll eat those ferns up for sure. They really like that stuff. So we'll keep the ferns flattened out in here. If you're worried that we're gonna kill all of the native plants, you can look around and see that we have an abundance of ferns and you know, forest edge plants. These ferns grow everywhere within like 100 feet of the edge of the forest. Once you get way into the forest where it's dark back there, there won't be as many ferns, of course, because there's no light getting through during the summer. But most of it is just covered in ferns along the edge. So I'm not worried about taking a few hundred square feet of space here. But yeah, we can just keep on walking. You can see that we weed whacked all along here, kept it cleaned out. We have an old pile of wood here that's just like scrap wood that falls. That makes good homes for things like chipmunks. Kept going with the fence here. One reason that we stopped here and not further down, because we had originally thought about bringing it way back down there into the trees, is that this, I don't know if you can make that out, but you'll notice that the top of that tree is missing right there. During one of the winter storms this year, this tree fell down and you can follow it way back there. That's a maple that fell. So that's all going to be okay firewood. Now, it probably fell because some carpenter ants got in there, and we do have that problem with maples sometimes around here. Carpenter ants will get in and chew them up and then make them weak and then they break. So that area where the carpenter ants were will not be usable. We'll just have to cut that out and leave it in the forest to rot away. But I'll cut down this trunk right here and then find out wherever the fire ant damage, or not fire ant, sorry, Florida in me, the carpenter ant damage stops, and then, you know, just take the rest of it. But we've got to be able to get the tractor in here to do all of that. And there's a path way over in the side over there. So I wanted to be able to clear myself a route to get in with the tractor. So I should be able to do that over there. Otherwise, we would have had the pigs go a bit further into the woods. But I don't want the pigs to be where I need to get the tractor in, because moving this once it's in place is kind of a pain in the butt. So, yep, we're going to continue on here. You can see that they end up having a fairly significant amount of space. You can make out the pigs over there. Bring that back out. There we go. So we can go around here. And then you'll notice that I brought it all the way up here to the shed at the far end of the 3 bays of the shed. So this shed has 3 run-in bays. And I put the fence to a little ash tree that's growing to the side here, and the actual side of the shed. I had originally considered just going right from this to this ash tree, but then I was like, you know, that's still a little bit of space right there, and the pigs at their current size will probably be able to squeeze through that, so I better be on the safe side. So I put it here. One nice thing about this fencing is that once it's here, we don't have to move it until, you know, the pigs are gone. They'll stay here, and even when they're big 250-pound pigs, they'll respect this fence. They don't mess around with it. They don't try to push it or do anything with it. They will occasionally come up and touch their nose to it because they might forget or whatever, but as soon as they do that, they get a good zap, which I just got over there when I touched the fence accidentally trying to get the grass. Excuse me. And it hurts, right? It definitely doesn't feel good, but it's not gonna like do any permanent damage. You know, I'm over here walking and it's totally fine. And they'll end up weighing more than me. I'm sure when you get it on your nose, it does not feel good though. So they learn quickly to stay away from it, and even as they get older, they won't mess with it. You'll notice that they're still inside that area. Remember I was saying they really take a little while to learn to be able to leave the space that they were in. They really respect that electric fence so strongly that they learn where the boundary is, and they just don't want to test it because it hurts, right? You know, you get zapped. It's a little sting. But yeah, here they are. See if I can coax them out. Come on. No, see, and they know. Like, that was a spot where they were not allowed to go, so they do not want to go. Sometimes you can coax them with some food, though. Here, want a piece? Come on. Come on. Let's see if she'll go. She's trying. She's getting a little courage up. So it really does. Like last time when we had the pigs last year, when we took their temporary fence down, it took them about a day and a half before they crossed the boundary. These guys, it's been a day, but you can see she's already eating that fern up. They really like these ferns. They do enjoy chewing on them. A lot of the weeds, surprisingly, they just really enjoy eating, which is good. You know, that's what we want. We want them to be pigs. We want them to root around and just do what pigs would do, you know, just be happy, be healthy, eat natural food in addition to the feed that we feed them, which really is just, you know, grain and stuff, right? Like, I'm not trying to say that we don't feed our pigs grain, because we do. Whatever pig feed from the feed store has in it, they'll end up eating. But they get to also do this. They're not living in a cement floored cage their whole life. They get to come out here and dig around in the dirt and eat bugs and eat plants. Here you go. You want this? There you go. So there you go. She's crossing the line, or getting close to the line at least. It's right there. She's very, very close to the line. But yeah, it's important to us that they get to live happy, healthy lives. And you know, they're food for sure. We're not going to keep these guys. They're not pets, right? These are not animals that we're going to have for years and years and years. But it's still important to us that they live healthy and happy lives and get to be pigs. You know, I feel a lot better knowing that I'm raising food that is humanely raised and gets to live a good life while it's around. So yeah, that's going to be about it. We've got them moved into their permanent spot here. This is where they're going to be able to spend their summer, rooting around in here, eating up all of these plants, as you just saw her doing. They do enjoy eating all of the greenery that's out here. They really enjoy digging around too. Like when we first put them in here, there's a bunch of rocks over there. You could not see those rocks for anything. Those rocks were hidden. Oh, calm down. Goodness. But yeah, like all these rocks you couldn't see. And now, you know, look around and there's just rocks everywhere. Because they're out here just rooting around, doing what pigs do. So, okay, with that said, hey, come on, get away from my feet. They do like to try and eat my feet. I don't know what's up with that. Come on, back it up. Back it up. Leave my feet alone. Okay, with that said, we're gonna call it a day here. I'm gonna step outside of the pig pen, let them have their morning, eat some breakfast, root around a little bit. We enjoy making these videos for you guys. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. If you could give us a share, that would be great. We're getting really close to that 500 subscriber mark, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, all right. Well, you guys all have a good day. Thanks for watching.